This is the Art of Fashion TV, where art, fashion, and music all meet in one place, right here on the Art of Fashion TV. And now, welcome your host, Glenn Donovan.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the Art of Fashion TV. I'm Glenn Donovan, your host. And tonight, I do have the honor of sitting here with Kisk from the Cab Calloway Story. You've worked with a lot of different artists. You started with the musicians, and you're crossing over now to a silver screen adaptation of Cab Calloway. This is actually a series that we have here. Well, thank you for joining us, Kisk. Also joining us is Katrina Chiovon.
Yes.
And you play Dolly in the movie, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Okay, all right, excellent. I'm going to hear all about that in just a second. Let's start with you, Kisk. So, thanks for coming over today. So, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Cab Calloway Story.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, of course. It's an amazing story. First and foremost, it's just a great story to tell, and I feel like it's overdue. Like, people need to know about Cab Calloway. So
oh yeah, definitely.
I'm very honored to be able to play him in this series. I guess you wanted to know how I got the part. I guess.
Yeah, a little bit behind that. I know that the Calloway family is involved with this in the production of this. Is this something? Yeah. So you met up with them, and how did you get involved with? How did they then pick you to be the lead?
Well, that's a long story, but I'm gonna fast forward for you because basically, 6 years ago I auditioned for this specific part, and when you're an actor, you don't really think about the auditions until you get that call back. So it took 6 years to get a call back, and what happened was I was already in California doing some other films and everything, but I was also going through a visual hurdle, as you guys can see, as you said earlier, that I'm visually impaired. So it's hard enough to get a role as an actor. It's really hard to get a role as an actor, but when you're visually impaired, it's that much harder. So at the time that I did get this call, it kind of opened the door, and it gave me more confidence being a visually impaired actor, because those calls stopped coming in. Because 6 years ago I auditioned, 3 years ago I started having complications with my vision. Okay. So
the vision was something that you weren't born with, the impairment. It's something that happened a little bit later in life, like just a couple years ago.
Yes, 3
All right,
years.
So that's something you weren't dealing with before.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
absolutely.
that must have been difficult.
Very difficult, and it kind of like put me in a dark space. Everybody, literally, it put me in a dark space because 6 months I was without vision all the way. So again, I was hurting, I was depressed, I was going through this downward spiral, and I got a call from Peter Brooks. Peter Brooks is Cab Calloway's grandson. So he was saying, "Hey, you still interested in playing my grandfather?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely. It's a great role. Callback. 6 years. It's still great to have that callback." So I was like, "Yes, but I need to sit down with the family and sit down with you guys and let you know what I'm going through with my personal situation."
Right.
So
you have some issues, some hurdles to get over.
When I met with the family, I met with Kamei, I met with CC, and they understood that I was going through this hurdle, and they understood that it was like, hey, if you could still pull the part off without letting people know that you're visually impaired, then why not have a shot at it? So
that's great that they supported you.
Yeah, they supported it, and then we had a dress rehearsal, and then once I hit the stage, it was like nobody even knew that I had this problem.
Right. You were Cab when you hit the stage.
Yeah,
so that's all that matters.
Yeah,
right.
To them, they was very shocked and amused, and I know that even working with me, I mean.
The first day when I got to set, I honestly had no idea. He had a contact in, and to me, he was just full of energy, ready to take on anything. We were dancing, we were improvising. There was a lot going on, and it was high energy. So there was no doubt in my mind at all. I actually had no idea.
So you only have 15% of your vision, and you acting alongside of him had no idea that he's basically almost practically blind.
Yeah. No, I actually didn't know. We didn't have that conversation prior to working together, and I actually came on board kind of late into the filming of what we were doing, and I was so honored to be a part of this project. It was so much fun, and we worked all collaboratively together. We're working together to, make this come alive, and I think we did a great job, and he did an excellent job of, doing his work as an actor, and that's why we didn't know.
That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. My first exposure to Cab Calloway was during the Blues Brothers movie.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that when I was, I guess, 10 years old, and it was really my first experience of seeing like a performer really captivate that audience and have them in the palm of his hand. Like I could sense that power that a performer has, and the reach that they have over an audience when they were mimicking back. You know, during Minnie the Moocher, ha da ha da da.
Yeah.
You know, that was like, wow, they're all doing that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and he has them. So that was my first exposure. How did you like grow up listening to Cab Calloway, or were you familiar with them before this?
I was a little familiar with them because I'm an artist. I like I said, like you said earlier, I work with a lot of different people, and I take a lot of my writing skills from the older generation, older people that came before me. I know my history, I did, but before doing this role, I didn't know as much. Of course, I went into the books, I paid attention, and speaking to the family firsthand, they were able to tell me things that it wasn't written about Cab. They were
the real person.
Yeah, so that was more important to me to kind of like go into the heart of the person and portray that, because even my own personal hurdles that I had to overcome, I know he had his own personal hurdles, and they were like they always told me to utilize that, because your pain is his pain in a way, and use that pain to be able to tell the story better. So it was amazing journey. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's awesome. It's awesome. So Katrina, your role in it is Dolly, and Dolly was a TV producer trying to get him on board and exposure.
Yes, she's quite witty, and she's a Hollywood elite socialite who has all these Hollywood connections. You know, TV is just now happening in the 40s, and she's working with the TV producers, and she really wants to kind of bring Cab into the TV and film world in Hollywood, and so she's trying to kind of, tell him all the good things that could come from it. So she's funny. She's a great character. I love playing her.
Is she an entertainer as well, or is she just a TV
Well, she is, because she sings, and remember, because she actually offers to sing one of his songs with him, and so she also is trying to kind of get his attention. All these women want his attention, and so what is so different, and how. And what I can offer, right?
Right.
And not romantically, but just like, what can I offer him to make him want to work with me, right? So, that I know all these producers, and I'm kind of like really excited. And so there's a great scene there where we're going back and forth with another female, where we're both kind of like debating on, we're both trying to explain why one of us is better than the other.
Okay, just trying to outdo each other.
It's funny.
One up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very good.
That's good. So Kiss, you originally worked with musicians. You do a lot of writing for some famous people. Was it difficult to transition from being a musical artist to acting? Is this like your first acting job, or have you had some previous experience in the past?
I've had some previous experience with acting and drama and theater. I went to school for directing under Spike Lee, so he kind of taught us a lot of things in class. But this is my first time being a lead in something this magnificent. I think carrying, like, this is daunting for anybody, any actor. I think just playing another part, playing somebody who has so much historic value, and trying to captivate the audience, the younger generation, to be able to teach them about this amazing person. It was daunting, and it was a lot of work. So I appreciate the people that came to help out. There was a lot of names, like we have Albie Shore, he's playing Duke Ellington.
Excellent.
We have Full Force. We have the music group Allure. We have a new up and coming beautiful young lady playing Lena Horne. Her name is Christina Marquez. She's very, very good at what she does. She's actually was there from the beginning of the whole thing. So she picked up cameras. She did a lot of things. That's what I can say. Thank you, Christina, if you're out there watching. And Keith Murray is another one. And I
would think once you get some of the more bigger name stars, you kind of have more knocks on the door. Like, hey, I got this person and that person.
Absolutely.
And now everybody wants to be involved with it.
Yeah, it was a lot easier after we got Albie. After Albie agreed, and he was on film for his playing Duke Ellington, another historic person. We also had Reverend Al Sharpton. He's a spiritual counselor for Cab Calloway. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it works out well once you have those names and a lot
you
of
got clout.
yeah, a little bit more clout than when it started. So I'm happy to thank you for all those people that come out and after the call when I was able to call all these people to come help.
That's awesome.
Tell this story.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, being that you have some limitations with your vision, I mean, was that like a challenge? Like, what were some of the challenges that you had to face? Having not all of your vision when there.
Oh, my imagination had to get a lot better. My hearing had to get a lot better on set when I was performing. I had to be a lot slower than usual. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm fast at everything. I'm trying to move.
Yeah.
But I had to slow a lot of the things down that I had to do just for safety. I still was firsthand though. Like I was, even in the editing room, I was very, very close, trying to make sure that everything looked the way it needed to look for presentation when we did the dailies and stuff like that. But I think that me being visually impaired doesn't limit the vision that I have for this film. Honestly,
Excellent.
I think that's
a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think that it's only made me a little bit stronger and pay attention to a lot of the smaller things that I may not have paid attention to when I had my full ability to see. So
Interesting.
yeah,
That's good that you have a lot of support, and it's great that the family, still wanted to, use you as a lead role with even some of the hurdles that you had to, that you had to overcome.
yeah, they took a chance. They definitely took a chance on me, and I appreciate them. And they're still supporting. I just talked to Cece yesterday just about certain little things that she wants to continue doing. Because like I said, we have 3 episodes filmed right now, and it's a 12 episode series.
Okay, so you still have some more filming to do.
Right.
All right.
And with all of the great people that have come around and supported, it's so great because now they're talking about spin-offs through the characters that we were creating. Like they want to do a Lena Horne spin-off because they just did the theater opening, so they wanted our Lena Horne to kind of like continue her story. They want our Eartha Kitt. They want our
you got all the spin-offs.
Yeah.
When you said Duke Ellington, I'm like, where's his story? His story should be coming out too.
There's so many poignant people that we were able to touch because Cab was the one who opened the door for Nat King Cole, and a lot of these people that came through, Josephine Baker, and they were really close, and it's like telling that story is able to open up other doors. So once we get a network partner to finish the 12 episodes, we're already talking about doing the next spin-offs, and it's like it's just a great this is a great project.
This can go on and on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere we can see the show now? Is there any viewing platforms we could watch it?
Yeah, we're trying to
shopping that
we're
still?
just shopping because we're negotiating with different not labels but networks and different people.
Okay,
so
well, TV producers, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got this great story here.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're open to showcase and let people see it. Like we had a
private screening.
A private screening, and a lot of people showed up. A lot of people that I didn't think would show up were there, and it was just an amazing thing. And we were able to invite the family.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to give the flowers to the family while they were watching it too, and for me to be able to see it with these eyes on the big screen, it was surreal. The moment, it was really nice, and it was just great moment.
And also we won 2 awards.
Oh yeah,
okay.
The New York City Council actually awarded the Cab Calloway Story series an appreciation award for telling his story, and the daughter and the grandson got up and accepted it along with Kisk, and I think that was such an amazing moment.
Yeah, to have
that was history right there, and just to see that and be there and to witness that was so incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cab Calloway, a historic figure, well, like you said, opened a lot of doors and was an important person in the music industry back then. And that transition from radio to TV, all that stuff was going on back there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that soon. So Katrina, do you have any other things in the works that you're working on, or do you have some other projects?
I do. I'm working on several films right now. I just finished shooting. I'm a lead in a new film called The Missing Piece,
Okay.
which is a thriller. It's going to be really exciting. And I also have another film that is I wrote myself. It's also kind of a historical drama as well, based on a true story, also in the 40s.
Oh, nice.
But I start in the 40s and I come to the future. So
Oh, okay. That
that's
sounds interesting. That'll be
and
good.
he'll be working with me on that as well.
Excellent.
Great story. It's a great story. Like, I can't wait to work.
Yeah.
And what's the name of that one?
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna keep our eyes open for that as well.
Yeah.
And Kiss, anything else? You got making some more music after this, or what do you have planned for the future?
I'm gonna focus on this this series. Like I said, I don't want to get too far away from it because the family trusts me. So I'm gonna until we get the 12 shot and done. I'm probably gonna just stay focused on that. And
It sounds like you got some work ahead of you for
yeah,
that. So that'll keep you busy
and it's
for
a
sure.
it's a big project. And like I said, once we get the right endorsement and backers behind it, of course it's gonna take a lot more of my time. So
Yeah.
I'm always writing songs. I'm always doing different music stuff. But right now, like I said, I'm focusing on this character, and I'm trying to really embody this story. So,
Awesome,
so, yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. So that is the Cab Calloway story.
Yes.
So look for it out there. We're going to see it very soon. And thanks for Kiss, and thank you for Katrina for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, and we're going to see you back on the Art of Fashion TV. Thanks.
Hi, this is the Art of Fashion TV, and I'm your host, Kiss. I actually play Cab Calloway in the Cab Calloway Story, and today we're doing a part 2 of our first interview. And I brought 2 amazing co-stars. One played Lena Horne, and one played Eartha Kitt. I'd like to introduce you guys to Christina and Khaseema. Hi guys, how you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Doing great. So happy to be here. Yeah.
Happy to have you. So Christina, you played Lena Horne.
Yes, I did. Legendary Lena Horne.
Yes,
And you, Khaseema, played Eartha Kitt.
I did.
One question I'd like to ask is, was it intimidating to take on this character? Christina, you first.
Well, it was, because she was so amazing. And, you know, to be that amazing, you know, it was hard because I didn't want to take the character and make it not realistic, you know, because no one can be Lena Horne. So to kind of like force that, I didn't feel was natural. So I went inside myself to kind of connect to her, and I felt like the way that it flowed was so natural, and I felt like she was there, and kind of like channeling me through it all. So it was really amazing to play her, and it was a blessing to be a part of a great cast.
Yes. Khaseema, how about you?
It was really hard. It was very intimidating. Actually, I'm nothing like Eartha Kitt, like in personality. So I was like very, it was a challenge to really like step in, like inside myself and like find that fierceness, you know, because there's a lot of like, you know, she has a lot of bravado and she says some stuff that like I'm like, yeah, you might be cruising for, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, so I didn't want to and also I didn't want to make a caricature out of her because of the way that she speaks, you know, because you could really take it over the top and do like, you know, some sort of, you know, portrayal that doesn't ring true to her as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate that on set, because I remember we had this conversation before even shooting the first scene with you, and you wanted to make sure that you didn't overdo the accent, but it was naturally coming to you. So I think that your studying and what you did to study the character translated on the screen. So I think that that's how you avoided some of those hurdles, because I had to do the same thing when it came to Cab Calloway and the things, just the animated gestures that he used to do and the things that made him who he was. I didn't want to overdo it either, you know. So it was like, and that's why I love this cast, because the cast was very, very professional, and they were able to kind of like put their own spin on the characters after reading their speeches and their different scripts. So again, hats off to these two lovely young lead ladies. They are leads, co-stars in this amazing project. Next question I had for you guys is did you learn anything that you were able to apply to your personal life from the character that you played? I say that because me playing Cab Calloway, I also learned his struggles, and I'm dealing with my own struggles, and I was able to, like you said, Christina, kind of channel some of those painful moments and carry it, utilizing my own, you know, strength. And now I use those same tools today. So did that happen with you guys?
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm still learning myself every day, and I felt like during that journey of Lena Horne, she was a dancer, and then she became a singer, and having Cab kind of navigate that, or the people that she had in her life, to be able to kind of, you know, navigate her greatness and show her that there's so much more, and she looked inside herself to kind of like give that to the people, and it was a gift that she gave us, just her talent and everything. So I'm still learning to apply that in my everyday life, and continuing to be on this journey of finding new things and new things about myself I didn't know before, and learning more about my talents and my gifts, and so I can give it to the world and be able to continue to be a part of this great art as an actress.
Khaseema?
I learned a lot about tapping into your grandness. Like, there's a lot of Eartha Kitt that, you know, like, she was like, we're the same height, like, we're both 5'4", and so, like, being short, like, there's a lot of, like, you know, people don't expect you to have a big personality, you know, but she gave you a grand personality. So, like, I felt like, you know, like, getting to know her as the character, I felt like it helped me as a woman learn to step into my power. Like, more like, it's fine to take up all the space in the room if that's how you feel that morning, you know. So
that's wonderful. That's great. That's wonderful. And what's the difference in work and becoming a character and creating a character?
It was hard for me because I've never played anyone before. You know, when you're given just like a name or a character, this was like really, I felt like I had weight on my shoulders, a responsibility that, you know, I had to portray this beautiful woman the right way, to show the world, you know, the elegant, the treasure that she holds within inside of herself during that era, during that time where, you know, black and white people couldn't be together, and we can work together, we can sit down together at the same place, and, you know, having the Cotton Club and having that kind of place to be herself and to be who she is, you know, she's so great, and that was
challenging.
That was challenging.
Yeah,
that was the challenging part, is to be able to portray such a legendary woman like herself.
What about you, Khaseema?
well, for me, like, when I'm creating a character, usually I have to, like, create like a whole backstory for them. So for me, it was like, it was difficult I felt a duty to do it correctly, but it was easier because there was actual research to do, which was great for me. So yeah, I just got, like, I went down like a rabbit hole and, like, you know, studied about her life and stuff like that, and like you can bring these things into your performance, like, with, you know, like, you know, thinking back to, you know, she had a troubled childhood. That might be why she was so attached to Cab Calloway so quickly, things like that. Yeah.
I know that speaking to like Jamie Foxx about when he did Ray, he was like, I had to really pay attention and go into my character and understand what it was that I needed to do. And he didn't want to hang out with the person he was playing for too long because it was like a mechanism. He didn't want to get too much of the older version of him because he was playing a younger version of Ray Charles. So those kind of things I like to speak on, especially when I'm on camera. I like to speak to the younger generation. And bringing up the younger generation, I wanted to ask you guys a question about the project itself, how you guys see it, and kind of like, do you feel like it's a need to tell this story? I wanted to get your opinions.
Yes, I feel like it's the perfect time to give these amazing people like Cab and Eartha Kitt and Lena Horne and all these great people during that time their flowers. It's no better time than now. And I feel like the generation that we're in needs to know about these amazing people, you know, just how they were able to come ready, come to work ready, you know, looking the best, feeling the best. And I feel like we lost that. And I feel like if we could remember where we came from, we could know where we're going. And
ooh, you just said it. That's amazing. That's a good comment. You're right. How about you, Khaseema?
I absolutely do think that this is a very important story to tell. This and so many others. It's just, I don't see why we don't know more about Cab Calloway. You know, like, it was interesting to me that, like, it took this project to come along for me to really hear about him, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, he was so huge back then, and like he worked with so many people, and I had no idea, you know. So I'm you know, grateful that this, you know, fell in my lap.
Yes. And I'm also thankful to be able to tell this story and open the door for the stories that need to be told. Another thing that I love about this story, Cab Calloway, because he touched so many different people that are already in the business, we're learning that, and we're shining light on the people that he was able to touch. So this is a story that I feel needs to be told, and I love the character, and I love who he was. And one more thing, I just wanted to oh, you got a paper. What's going on with this paper?
Oh, I wanted to share this. This meant so much to me. I mean, seeing myself in a newspaper.
Oh wow.
The story was covered at the Quad Cinema Theater.
Oh. You want to hold it up to the camera and let them see? All right.
The cast.
The cast photo is in the paper. Entertainment. All right.
Yeah.
We did it. We made it. This is a wonderful thing. This is amazing to have the story. Have my picture in the. That's. Thank you for bringing that. I mean, it's a lot of.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Everybody, clap it up. I want to thank you both for being here. Thank you for telling your stories and giving a little insight on how the Cab Calloway story came about. Thank you again for coming, sharing it with the audience. And I love you both. I thank you both. And I thank the audience for watching. And this is Art Fashion TV.
Our pleasure.
Stay
Thank
tuned.
you.
See you guys
Bye-bye.
next time.